Osazuwa Osage has earned a lot of laurels for his feisty political cartoons, but what he brings to the Quintessence Gallery in Lagos is not done with pen or pencil, but with paint and brush. Take a look.
A great writer once said that a man who dares to waste 1 minute of his time has not yet known the value of life. So, for Osazuwa Osage, it's time to make good use of it and make every second count. That means exploring new grounds and conquering new territories. That sums up his foray into a new style of painting, captured in the title of his exhibition, My Journey in Acrylic, seen in over 20 images, which tells the story of how he put pen, pencil and paper aside and set it into a new medium, then moved to a more complex terrain, acrylic.
We talk about painting, what comes to mind is oil on canvas. Whereas acrylic is a very interesting medium, And I felt, well, let me just have works that will be in acrylic alone. So that whatever you can do in oil, you can do in acrylic too. So that's the basic essence, And I say that the works vary. It cover probably all themes, facets of life and that kind of thing. So acrylic is a very interesting medium. So I find it very interesting. So I just said we should have works in acrylic this time around.
Changing lanes doesn't come cheap. It involves over 9 years of intensive practice, a lot of hard work, and probably swooping the political garment to get a coat of many colors that will see him notice the little things and paint the softer and lighter side of life.
I've gone round. I'm very familiar with him. I've known him since the early 90s. And we've been associates since that time. And he's one of the most respected artists of that generation in the country.
That's not the only thing. He also set aside his signature style, portraiture, which used to be and still is one of his fortes. He's renowned for drawings in fabulous Nigerians, but now all eyes are on their lifestyle and what makes them tick.
Look at my works, there are varieties. You have from landscapes to seascapes to human figure, then things you experience, the facet of life, your day-to-day life, things you see and all that. So it's all encompassing. I'm not just a market scene painter or a Mulwe scene painter. I delve into various topics and all that.
A scene in this piece, which will find a place in the history of Lagos, the suburb that was a home for street urchins, but time has chased the blues away.
You always see young boys send by their parents because of the economic situation in the country, to go and hawk wares and all that, In this case, they finish selling their wares, they're tired, so they're arrested by the roadside, It's just about the reality of time.
Another works which says people, places, and position.
The Bible says, don't say we should be a brass keeper. But are we really being a brass keeper? You go around the country, see a lot of people who are sleeping on the streets, begging and that kind of thing. These people are deprived, either by their family or by society. If the government had done well, they won't be on the street sleeping. Somebody should care for them, So just to remind the society of our responsibility to each other, to one another.
Osazuwa Osage is one of the award-winning political cartoonists Nigeria has produced.
Most of the colors are warm because we're in Nigeria. The weather is hot here and that kind of thing. So we really have bright colors and all that. And we are used to using bright colors and all that. So that's why you see most of the teams are warm colors. I'm a colorist. I'm an impressionist, an expressionist, I'm a colorist. So I deal in colors basically.
If you look at the colors, they are very rich. And the subject too are very, very deep. I hope people will still visit this exhibition later in the week to really see this outstanding work. So as a cartoonist, I'm so impressed with what I'm seeing here because he's been doing cartoon all the while and decided to take this leap into painting.
He carved a niche for himself while at the National Concord newspapers in the 1980s. But make no mistakes about it, his cartoons still pop up in the papers, especially at the weekend, and this is not his first exhibition as a painter.
Inspiration comes in different forms, you know. When I'm driving around, watching television, things I see around me, generally.
The audience get a chance to see him in a different light. So all that sweat and grind gets appreciated at the Quintessence Gallery today. The curator, Moses Ohiomohai, has watched this transition keenly and believes these pieces will give art lovers and collectors the kick they're always searching for. He dubs him a master painter who's graduated to discussing the little big issues that bother on essence of life and the need to continue to protect the environment.
He definitely has a style of his own, and he paints mainly in oils and acrylic, either on paper or canvas. And he's very well exposed, but unlike some of his colleagues, he has not been very much in the exhibiting circuit, in the sense that Osazua is probably known more for portrait painting, and being his associate, he has promoted Nigerian portraiture more than any of his colleagues.
The graduate of Algi Polytechnic in Edo State has a mantra that has led him on from his heydays till now. A beautiful environment is a creative and a healthy society. So it is the job of the artist to constantly hold up that mirror.
This month in art history. Artists celebrate this epic novel written by Chinua Achebe in 1958 and hope to encourage younger ones to hone their writing skills. In this perfect month, veteran actor Olu Jacobs came into the world on July the 11th, 1942. But some great hearts went to rest as June embraced July, and the art community received the news with shock this month. Veteran filmmaker Francis Oladide's candle went off, but the ones he left behind honored his contribution as a pioneer of the Nigerian film industry. His bestseller movies were Kongi's Harvest and Things Fall Apart, which he adapted for the screen. He was dubbed the British Cinder for saving more than 600 children, the majority Jewish, from the Nazis, but now his work is done.